Welcome to True Talk Radio, your home for facts, fairness, and fearless conversations about saloon economy.
We're not just any radio. We're an economic governance radio station where they break down big decisions, policies, and budget in a way where go make sense to you.
For our flagship Sunday show, We Economy, we bring you the real bread and butter issues where they around prices, jobs, taxes, and how policies they affect unu pockets. We also get more programs where they come every week. So join me now on 98.5 FM and online at True Talk FM. This is your platform, your economy and your voice on True Talk Radio. Get the facts, get True Talk. Welcome to True Talk Radio, your home for facts, fairness, and fearless conversations about saloon economy.
We're not just any radio. We're an economic governance radio station where they break down big decisions, policies, and budget in a way where go make sense to you.
For our flagship Sunday show, We Economy, we bring you the real bread and butter issues where they around prices, jobs, taxes, and how policies they affect unu pockets. We also get more programs where they come every week. So join me now on 98.5 FM and online at True Talk FM. This is your platform, your economy and your voice on True Talk Radio. Get the facts, get True Talk. Welcome to True Talk Radio, your home for facts, fairness, and fearless conversations about saloon economy.
We're not just any radio. We're an economic governance radio station where they break down big decisions, policies, and budget in a way where go make sense to you.
For our flagship Sunday show, We Economy, we bring you the real bread and butter issues where they around prices, jobs, taxes, and how policies they affect unu pockets. We also get more programs where they come every week. So join me now on 98.5 FM and online at True Talk FM. This is your platform, your economy and your voice on True Talk Radio. Get the facts, get True Talk.
Good evening, Bambule and Freeton. Nabo Kenny Mama Kenny, with your partner radio station where they listen to them. On a good evening. Today we can ask a particular question we think is very important. Whose kind of salon we want? Not till we first begin for ask this question. Now, the African Union and the heads of states then we gather, they ask themselves which kind of Africa they want. In fact, now based on that, they begin for develop what they call the AU vision, we will all implement today. Today we don't bring this conversation down to Sierra Leone for ask yourself which kind of salon we want. Family say inside salon we know they really talk to each other much about the problems they will get. And sometimes they will treat each other more with suspicion than for actually address the real thing they will get. I remember when I grew up, my daddy been they tell me say salon me the export rest. Na Guinea and Liberia. In fact, I remember why they from one where they go school. Me daddy just go pay 60 leones that 10 day. Then give me all my books then, all my exercise books then, all my textbooks there. I don't talk on this forum here, not to 110, not to 210. In fact, then 10 in the way where you get uniform, if you know well, you can just go now any clinic at the time, then government clinic, then you go take treatments, then you come back na school. Now the kind saloon that you been get, and it been just easy for let you fly from here to Kono, 45 minutes, because you been get Boku airline, you get West Coast, you been get Sierra Airlines. 40 minutes you don't come here, you don't go bow, you turn back, you do your business and turn back. Not so that salon will get anymore. So instead of we actually sit down together and solve the problem, we always feel say, no, that side, no, that this other side, not that person they're responsible. If we not sit down together and discuss the challenges there, whether not food security, whether not for developed salon, no, we're not able to get a handle on them. The reason why we begin talks a lot, we even put this topic together, we don't see say, sometimes they can advertise one job, one work. They can advertise them for 6 months. We not can get any salon possibly qualify for them. Past you bring somebody from out. something and they for like can see on that job day. So it means say we bring all we party themselves together for form one government. We'll not get the manpower yet for run this country competitively. So now that make it fine for law really discuss this topic, which kind of salon we want. We know say Bokutin they go well, but Bokutin not they go well back. So today, all they talk about which kind of salon we want, we only get 90 minutes. And inside that 90 minutes, there are three things that we can't talk about. The push we don't become a pandemic na salon. We get for talk about that, but all man know about push na salon. The redistricting a big word, but we then talk say they can't divide Freetown into localities. Instead, we get for talk about them. And the last thing, now this constitutional review, you get this belief say the problem we get at the country pass we change the law then. If we not change the law, then the country not will go before. So it talks pass will review the constitution before we go before. So today we get some of the finest where I go talk say, I know I'm calling politicians, public servants then, where they can't help with for push this talk go before. One person we talk say get an emergency, we get for join with later on. Now the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, we all know that now Honorable Afasise Esquire, now one of the finest Attorney Generals we Salon get. And now don't they lead the process of this constitutional review process, this whole thing about the tripartite. And if we get any law, anything we want to discuss about justice and kush, how we for address, in fact, even redistricting, and for, if at all, then government get for do them, now for write the proclamation. So if fine for like can they for do that kind of conversation. We get again, my sister, when Madam Yvonne Akisoya, we all can call her Yvonne, now we sister. Yvonne not just a mayor, Yvonne a sister, in fact not just a mayor for Salon. They can talk say, then say prophet they not can respect her at the home pass and come out. Pass you go out. They say prophet not can respect her. So for now we know but Salon politics, when I know say since we returned to decentralization in 2004, we know saying that APC no more done the whole the mayor of Freetown. And Yvonne Akisoya na the only mayor we don't hold the city council race. They don't hold on 210. Now it's 7 years running. Am I right? Way it don't run them. So I think say na person way in achievement in the country and outside of country, it worthy of special notice. So today then they can't help you for push this talk go before. And it get for a little different from how we can do. So today we discuss all three then topic there. Then later on we'll give you the phone line. We'll open the phone line at exactly 10 after 8. Where you go call on 072641729, 072641729 for let yourself contribute to the conversation. Fambo them wanna excuse me voice. I lost my voices after this weekend. But this is not the conversation today. So welcome, Mayor Akisoya. Whose kind of salon we want?
Andrew, Famble them all good evening. I'm glad for there today and I'm glad for this opportunity for let we talk about something which is so important. Andrew say in member we in Papa tell and say them export rice. Me member we export rice. I think so all pass you a little bit.
Yeah.
And I also remember we will export cassava, cocoa, coffee. When the dollar, the pound and the LEONE now be more or less at par. When I did secondary school, where I go holiday in England, I mean 2 to 1. 2 LEONEs make £1. Today, now almost 3 million LEONEs make £1. But it's not just about exchange rate. You talk about access to medical care. You talk about books, having textbooks, you know, actually getting material with which to engage in education. Because if you go to school, as they happen today, many picking them, not getting nothing with any O. You know, taking notes on scraps of paper, on notepads, not get access to textbooks where they can go able for immerse themselves in and learn. You not even learn without the materials with which to learn. Simply going to a school, no to education. But the salon we want, progress, they happen worldwide. Wait till we just describe, no to progress, no retrogression. We want a salon, we're not going to say we want to go back to the 70s and the 80s because the world self don't move on. But I think, say for me, the overriding characteristic we want in Sierra Leone, now Sierra Leone in which we potential realized. We know to a desert country, we know to a landlocked country, we know to a country with an aging population, some of the issues where other countries and they face. We know a country with an endowment we're absolutely amazing. When you think about there are very few countries in the world we're able to talk about having resources at the scale and variety, breadth where we get in our salon. When it comes to minerals, we get minerals where some of we not even ever hear the name. The rare earth minerals, and we see them being carted away. We get, when it comes to fishing, we see the trawlers. They're not reach with shores, but then it takes salon fish and go. When it comes to resources, we get them in the water. We get them on the earth. We get them in the people. We get a young population. But wait till we not seem for not able for do. And this that is Sierra Leone where me want for see. Now for convert that potential into reality. We go make a change in the living standards of people. Life transient. We just talked about my car involved in a car accident. Terrible accident yesterday. My driver in Osborne. It make you realize the fragility of life. You didn't here 1 minute, you can be gone the next. But whilst you're there alive, in this country we call home, what we want now for let people then fulfill their own potential as well. For let them be full human beings. We're able to contribute effectively to society, but we're able to enjoy a quality of life. We're able to wake in the morning and the simplest, the most basic things, having access to water, not be, like a major strain, like in the medieval times, in the dark ages. Having access to electricity, not be something where now only available to 21% of the country. Not having access to quality education. Because like I say, walking into a classroom and sitting at a desk, or maybe if you're not fortunate, on the floor or on a bench, is not in itself education. Even walking into a space with furniture day is not in itself education. Education are creating an environment in which you learn, in which your mind develop, in which there's critical thinking. And when you come and talk about feed salon, you want a country who say you'd be nourished from the womb to the grave. Because let we not underestimate the importance of food, proper nutrition on brain development. And when I talk about fulfilling your potential, it speaks to all of that. A healthy child learns, a healthy adult earns. The salon where we want, now salon in which the living standards match with the cost of living. A salon in which when you minimum wage, not as it currently is, where the minimum wage hardly buys a bag of rice. So if you think about a family, even a family of two, let me say a family of four, but because on average we don't have two people in our families, let me use the example of a family of four or even a family of six, perhaps more normal for salon. Usai the minimum wage, literally not enough for pay anything other than potentially half a bag of rice. Or if you're lucky, some table get a full bag of rice at 800. You then get rent, medical, school fees, transport. We talk about living miracles. We not to something we go cause an economy and a country for progress. So the Sierra Leone where I want, now Sierra Leone where wait till they earn, they allow you for live. Wait till they earn, they enable you for care for your family. Where waiting you they earn, they allow you for save for the future. Because now when we fulfill the potential, you need forget jobs. You know, this is an economy or country in which the largest employer is state. That is not the scenario I want. Definitely not. Because when the largest employer is state, now one of the things that really contribute to the dysfunctionality in the political space. Because everybody look say, I only get a job if my party is in governance.
Yes.
Because everything becomes concentrated within the public sector. But the public sector is not an engine for growth. The private sector is the engine for growth. So if you want to fulfill potential, if we want to convert hope to reality inside this salon where we day, wait till we need now for ensure say the economy is strong, the economy driven by the private sector, the economy sits on infrastructure, it sits on education and skills development, it sits on health and well-being.
Definitely, thank you very much, and I by the way, thank you very much for even showing up for this this interview, because like I started in the intro, we live in a country where we hardly get along, and as citizens, and for there you get, you know, political classes, then they throw daggers at each other, and like you and I really would expect for the Honorable Alpha Siseba camp for there una too, and definitely I see two of una really getting along, in terms of being peers in government. We did pay attention to dynamic. We talk, say, let we get into people here, let can talk about them here and show an example, say, we can actually sit down and talk about them here and find a way forward. But I want to bring you down to Kush. I'm not saying that topic this way really get interesting. And when people, why all the talk about Kush, I don't want to let people then just look at Kush just as a disease. But Kush, for take and say that thing where they destroy picking their life, people picking them with brothers and with sisters them, and we all get some of now they listen to it so now picking themselves. And I get for go quickly to me, I get for go quickly to the Afrobarometer data
Now they look so.
on Kush, where they should say almost everybody, if I would do that survey, 99% of the people of Sierra Leone, they talk say Kush is very important, and you get 60% of people in talk say, me and no be neighbor, we don't get Kush. It's alarming. It is serious. And in fact, there's a data point where I see where they should say, the one them we then go school than the young people that we don't go school, now they more know about Kush past the one them we not go school yet. Now the one them we they educated, now they more nobody. The Kush past the one them. So you begin to see the implication of that one day for the future. And you've been always strong alarm about this, and you don't get a flurry of attention. Tell me by now, how you feel say, how serious you feel say Kush be?
Okay, well, perhaps make a small edit, if I may. Kush not a disease. Kush not a drug.
Yes.
Kush not a drug. And waiting to happen is that people that become addicted to the drug.
Yeah.
And it not just to destroy, we picking them, it destroy even adults today. The prevalence of Kush, as you rightly say, in the Afrobarometer poll, something the knowledge of something deeply disturbing. You get narcotics, you get hard drugs, you get drug abuse all over the world. But I think, say, for let you get a situation in which 99% of a population surveyed, they saying a significant problem, there can be no argument about the significance of the problem, because nobody be untouched. So I want to stop for a minute and we just think of how we reach here. I don't follow a lot of media reports, international media reports, investigative media reports. We don't be done. And there's the confirmed, or what I would say, the consistent narrative is that Kush appeared around 2019 in Salome. why you say I raised the alarm. You start off by asking me about the salon where I want. The salon where I want, I tell you, saying that salon inside with potential fulfilled. And for letting nation and potential be fulfilled, now the individuals and potential can be fulfilled. Waiting we able for do. We the underperform so significantly on so many levels. You make the example about we not being able for get professionals for do jobs and way they advertise inside our own country. We have Ghanaians, we have Rwandese, we have Ugandans and Kenyans coming to do jobs in Sierra Leone. You know, this not to the salon where we want. Because this the portray or the demonstrate say we not fulfill we own potential. Not only in terms of having the making sure the skills where they be provided to the one the way they go into education appropriate for waiting the world need, but also we're not able for keep the one them way well qualified, because like I just say, if you get a country who say the public sector are the largest employer and the minimum wage not go beyond the bag of rice, who that go want for stay? You know, if people then get opportunities for left, then they left. You have some of us way come in the opposite direction. Why? Because we believe say no need for stay this way. We believe say this country can be a better place. But in order for let that happen, so many things and they what you need for do. I talk about say jobs. I say the foundation to me for jobs. Now infrastructure, education and skills development, health and well-being. Now they the kush come in. You get a whole generation where we did lose. I talked to a young man, my former counselor. He was in last administration. He not be able for even contest for this current administration because he had become a kush addict. He was down and out. Where I say, you see him, you're not going to believe, say, this boy picking now councillor and a city council. Thankfully, he don't able for break the addiction and he's recovered. Not through government sponsorship, by the way, not through a rehab center, but actually going through a traditional method in a village in Moyamba. But why I mention him? Because he came to me last week for say, one for make a launch, EPAM for launch, an organization in community for support kush addicts and help them get off kush. They don't register 500 youth now one community bottom Oku. I want let we go on the Lumley Juba Bridge, go across bridge, go into any market, because that's a major challenge we really face now city council. You know, then it literally take over the market. We don't do raids, we don't get them removed, but we're not getting manpower for consistently remove them. And we also get for deal with violence, you know, because when somebody, you know, they on drugs, I know say kush they make them quite sort of like comatose and zombie like, but when they're in between, you get the real threat to violence. Waiting are the issues for me. For me, it's simple. It come in, it get for go out. It come in and it stay in because supply chains then they really become more and more entrenched.
Yeah, we get for cancel down there. But you know, you don't really start for unpack this problem. In fact, going to the origin in 2019, I'm happy really for learn about that. But if I now describe the problem a bit more, and some people in it can say this kush is really a governance crisis, now a break of governance, not to just a drug epidemic. And some people in it talk say it's a parenting crisis, not a break of parent. So I don't know how you see if you have to describe this as a problem, because not only we appropriately describe what the problem is, they will prove a solution to it.
Yeah, so for the one that we're in a parenting crisis, I would like for Led and realize say, I mean, we get for use anecdotal, and the questions we want to ask no cover this.
Yeah.
It cover the age way aware of the drug as opposed to the age way not the user. But me can talk anecdotally because I engage with many of them at death. You know, the one that we did die on the streets. I engage with them through in organizations where, you know, I talk with and I understand, because one of the things we don't decide for do is really choose a couple of institutions or organizations where we can support, because we really realize the scale of this, they beyond, you know, a city council. This get for be tackled at the national level. But the reason that it come back to this is because you say the word parenting crisis. I want to suggest to you, and again it's anecdotal, I want to suggest to you, say many of the kush takers are in that 20 to 40 age bracket.
Okay.
They
should be parents.
Well, exactly. I mean, you not really. Yes, it's growing in the schools, but when we see addicts, we're not seeing predominantly school children. We're seeing predominantly youth. You know, and I mean, I don't talk to a young man where he was now 21 or 22, and he tell me saying away in this school, nice start. He was he lost a parent. You know, he was going through some emotional challenges, and you know, one of his classmates said, "We can't take this tier," and he did. You know, and he ended up like dropping out of school. You know, and all that goes with it. So I'm not saying school kids are not affected. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want to let we narrow them down to parenting. We get staff, grown men in city council, we know we don't become kush addicts, you know. And I know that if you just walk along the streets, you know, when they say 99% of people see it as a different problem, this is in our faces. Not for saying that something we hide, not something we on the bush.
It's everybody.
It is everybody. Everybody's seeing it. So nobody can tell we. But
you know, me happen for work now the DDR program, which just the word just end. And one part in the way Tijan Kababe tell you at the time, he said, "We not just end the disarmament process, the reintegration process, because the ex-combatant that will be the key support, they became the privileged subgroup than the victims them were then left with the amputee and say, no, it became an eyesore. Say, "Let's stop them." So the reason why they bring this back, so it means we not properly reintegrate. I remember the World Development Report, which is in 2007, it's development and the next generation. Sierra Leone was a spotlight in that report. And one of the things they note now that Sierra Leonean youth need a second chance because they lost like 10 years during the war.
Okay, that was 2001?
2000 the report is in 2007.
Okay.
The development and the next.
But the war ended
in 2002. 2002.
2002. So they try for say the age.
Yes, the age. So it's not a parenting issue. I mean, that's not the point. But I say regime after regime, because it's really a big governance crisis. I just raised into argument that, but regime after regime, the way they look at youth, they look at young people more for political mobilization purposes than as a tool for developed society. So I don't know waiting because you.
Well, I mean, let me give a personal story. We linked to that period, those war years. So in 1999, I set up SLWT, Sierra Leone Watchers for Children. I think so you're familiar with our organization there. And we started off working with women in the displaced people's camps. And then we go, Bewa Chiefdom, Kagbanko now, so we spent some 5 or so years investing in that community. But in 2007, we started a agricultural training school for ex-child soldiers, 2007. So some 5 years after the war. The reason I did bring this example is because there was a day when I came, because I was living in the UK, and I came to do a follow-up on how the program did go. And I sat in a room, Nasongode, with some of the ex-combatants, females. And I wanted to do a report, just to get their input into like maybe some of the stories, some of their experiences. I asked quite naively for letting tell me, a few stories of what had gone on for my report. 2 hours later, I did inside there, I did cry like baby, then they cry, and the level of pain we come out. I was floored. I'm not able to even write, because the pain was so raw and so real. So I want to agree with you that pain not ever gets release. And many young people, but you also have a time lapse. But I think, say, some of trauma can be passed in generations, and waiting possibly we don't do not hand down trauma, because a young woman who would have been with me in 2007, that was what 18 years ago. If she was 18 then, she's 36 now. She's probably a mother, almost definitely a mother. The trauma we experience, how that trauma they go into your own family life. Is there a family life? But I want to take a slightly different angle, in spite of what you say, because them me not feel to say wait till the experience now, because it's impacted by, but I don't feel to say it is because of.
It's the investment we've made in youth development. I remember.
I want to challenge that still.
Because I remember you telling me, even that young person, now the city council, there is no investment that we get a push. In fact, Afrobarometer, there is a data will show about resources, the absence of resources.
I don't deny. The lack of investment, the lack of commitment to, even for me, the age range in itself not problematic. At the age of 20, okay, somebody go say, oh, you're privileged. I know they talk because this, I just say, I talk not to say everybody should do this, but I talk for say this is what can be done when the right environment is made possible. At the age of 20, I've been on doing my first degree. At the age of 21, I had my master's. At the age of 23, I was a chartered accountant. Nobody would call me a youth. I lead big project teams. Me not be a manager at the age of 25 with teams of multiple peoples engaging at board level in the UK. But when you tell somebody, say they're not youth until they reach the age of 35, and then you refuse to give them that sort of space and respect, like they not get waiting for talk, then you again, we stifle potential, and we prevent people them from growing into the fullness of who that they're able to be.
But is it a neglected sector?
I think not only is it a neglected sector, but I think it's a pigeonholed sector. Because what I try to say is, if you don't tell person, say, to me, at the age of 25, at the age of 20, I'm grown. The age of 18, you're voting. If you can determine who that for rule your country, then surely you're not a fully functional member of society. But because this framing of we understand why it was done, but I think say we need to move away from them, because it really limits. You're telling them, oh, you're not full members of society. They are. I was at that age, and when you don't put us in that box, then you go limit waiting you to do by way of investment into them, because you not feel to say then forget a seat at the table, and they should. But I want to come back to waiting me feel seen at the issue with Kush. I don't buy this business of a governance crisis, a parenting crisis. No, it's a governance crisis in a way, but in a much more direct way. Who say you they allow narcotics for take over you economy? That is the crisis. That is the crisis. I come back to the supply chain. Look, we don't see waiting with neighbors than you do. Neighbors that we're serious about fighting a drug crisis are stopping people at borders. They're deporting people en masse, no questions asked. They are not tolerating the sudden arrival on our shores of submarines, ships, airplanes at Hastings Airport. Let me not play games about this. This is a serious crisis. Ayeri, a senior member of government, on television the other day, saying that bots. It's saying that bots.
Okay.
Bots are being paid. Someone is paying for bots to elevate Kush. I'm really glad he say this data now. They tell and say those people who answer the Afrobarometer poll, they not get bots. They're not use bots. You know, this is real life. Everybody's
But you think
experience.
Kush should be treated as an emergency?
Well, it already has been, has it not?
Yes, but
On paper?
On paper, yes, largely on paper.
On paper,
but
because
when they say emergency, we see we see the results where GBV was declared an emergency. But
we see results.
Yeah, we see results.
If you speak to those in the sector, you go also understand, and this is a point I make when we come to the redistricting. When you make a policy decision, you must have good data. Because if not, you go make a policy decision which might sound very, attractive, but it can actually be counterproductive. And, those who are in the sector could tell you, say, you have far more young teenagers being arrested and jailed, creating a whole other problem in terms of the youth again, than the 60-year-old men, where that the one day we feel to say that legislation should have really targeted, or not just targeted, but impacted. But because the entire justice system, now one way get its own flaws, a piece of legislation can end up resulting in young teenage boyfriend and girlfriend, they end up with, you have now a boy incarcerated, when those with the power and the influence, we still wait for you to happen with that case of the gentleman where they say been locked 4 girls up for a week in his house. What happened to that? So legislation very important, but when it comes to using those examples,
actions,
dig deep and understand. But it comes back to it here, as say just now, policy, government policy, not for being knee-jerk.
If government will listen to you now, then they talk, say you want for just recommend 2 actions that should be done on Kush, which you president to them will be?
No sacred cows.
No sacred cows.
No sacred cows. Put your money where your mouth is. You cannot say we get a national crisis in drugs and then the Drug Enforcement Agency in budget for the entire year, now $89,000, later reduced to $63,000. This is the Drug Enforcement Agency. What can you do with that for a national crisis? So put your money where your mouth is. We see the increase in the budget of the Office of the President in the supplementary budget. We see the increase in the budget of the Chief Minister in the supplementary budget. But we see a decrease in the budget of many MDAs, and specifically if you're talking about a crisis of Kush, in the very institution, we're not supposed to just affect Kush, because Kush is not the only drug that's affecting our population. We get tramadol, we get cocaine. Cocaine, we're becoming a narcotics hub. I mean, every single time. Somebody just sent me a message today. He said, go Liberia last week. She said she was humiliated at the border. Humiliated. He said he waited and searched them. And then the comments they made, he don't vow say not good again. And this is because of what is happening. So the impact of this, it's on life, it's on our image, it's on our future, it's on business investment. This is a crisis. This is not big crisis. Big crisis. And when you get big crisis, you for treat it like big crisis. So if money no day, side in day for pool money. Side in day for pool money. Reduce your travel spend. Reduce the Chief Minister's travel spend. Because those things, ultimately, they are workarounds. But to save lives, the funds are needed today.
So getting our priorities right is
getting our priorities right.
So if there are you think there are opportunities for cross local council and central government collaboration on Kush?
But there's always been opportunities for collaboration. I can always talk, say, now people they not can understand, but council not work as an island. we're not a workers on island. You know, at every level, on many levels, we collaborate with central government. Let's just take an example of World Bank interventions. World Bank as an institution where protocols require for make funding to subnational governments go through the national government. Automatically, anything we do with World Bank means we collaborate with central government. You know, we get other donors, we're able to work directly with subnational governments, which is fine. But I just would say there are many points of engagement.
But on the fight against Kush?
Waiting with it, waiting at it say is that this needs a coordinated, collaborative response. But I will say again, you say wait at it two things. One, I say put your money where your mouth is. Two, I say cut the supply chain.
Okay.
That supply chain, it is the most, I don't know if how I could talk them back. I underline them, I put yellow highlight, I put red, I put exclamation mark. It is the most important thing. Everything else are lip service. For as long as the teens still they come inside here. Look, you get this young girl with disgracefully na TikTok. I think she's from Burkina Faso. Where the talk say it call alarm for the presidents of Gambia, of Guinea, of Liberia. He said they not allow Saloners into that country. He said they not allow them. He said that because then they bring the drugs. How people then effect for let the drug not come into their country. Now so we get for fair.
There are clear suggestions from the Afrobarometer. It talks 70% they talk say therefore impose stiffer punishment, and of course another 70% they talk say on border controls. So you agree with this?
Well, I mean, I agree with both, but you know, it's not a question of waiting me agree with, not a question of waiting to be done. I go say again, in 2024, the president announced an emergency. In the budget for the institution, we will do that emergency in the next year, then be given peanuts, literally peanuts. That they not do. In May of the same year, they reduce the peanuts to fewer peanuts. So let me talk true. Let me talk true. You know, I am very encouraged to see a flurry of activity from the drugs agency this week. I see them put post say they're starting a campaign. Yay! Let it just be sustained, because 1 year on, we're not hearing nothing. Shishi, nothing. We're not hearing from the drugs agency. Nothing. Now, the focus is everybody is talking about it, and now they're acting. Waiting they need more action, and they need resources for the action. But we also need to answer some kind of crazy questions. I don't say, you know, this is not an environment in which people don't want to talk. But we get for talk, because if we not talk and we not challenge, things are not going to change. So you might recall that something will come up at the time, and this time my brother, Andrew, you know my brother, and also you just Andrew Jaya, Kai, now my brother, but Andrew, this year I come up, and I know they hide them and they talk them. It come up when you go for the out in column, the approval of Parliament. A question came up about 3 vehicles that should have been given by a friend. Drugs enforcement agents, you're not forgetting kind of friend and they. You for reject then kind vehicle, then kind gift and they. You for reject them, because it is the impression that it gives. It is the impression that it gives. Now the same thing with the information immigration officer, head of immigration. Instead we get gifts them where he not be able to explain. He's saying a friend giam. I don't know. What I know is that at the time when they go Parliament, this came up. Okay. It came up, and then we see photographs of him with the most wanted drug lord in the country. Not in the country, in Europe. That's another thing we can't hide away from. Boleios. As far as we are aware, according to the International Security or the Foreign Agency of Foreign Ministry of the Netherlands, then they ask for an extradition. We not ever hear it say that thing they get answer. Then say na Omar Sheriff in him. but Boleyos in brother-in-law, then arrest him na Dubai with Salone diplomatic passport. So Andrew, this conversation, let we not pretend, let we not talk about this thing like we did in a vacuum. We are in the real world, and there are things that are happening we lead to we thinking it gets to be very difficult for Fet Kush if we don't have sincerity of purpose. You cannot have sincerity of purpose. We want to tell we say, we want to investigate the ambassador of Guinea, Guinea to Salone to Guinea, where in vehicle caught with cocaine and cash. Take today we know your outcome of investigation. Take today.
Well, now that make really one today because those questions are not for me.
No, they're not for you. That's why I'm speaking to the camera.
If the Attorney General been there, I mean, those are questions we for really answer because you cannot enforce, drug control if you don't get, punitive actions. And so you find the one way they enforce the law, then for them they are for answer the question. But we can't get a short break. And we can't get a short break, and my sister Mayor Ivan Akisoya, we can't go to the very interesting topic. Who I want the family wait for. We're in a street in Freetown. Now we go for break. We'll go for a short break, please.
Welcome to True Talk Radio, your home for facts, fairness, and fearless conversations about Salone economy.
We're not just any radio. We're an economic governance radio station where they break down big decisions, policies, and budget in a way where go make sense to you.
For our flagship Sunday show, We Economy, we bring you the real bread and butter issues where they around prices, jobs, taxes, and how policies they affect unu pockets. We also get more programs where they come every week. So join me now on 98.5 FM and online at True Talk FM. This now your platform, your economy and your voice on True Talk Radio. Get the facts, get True Talk. Welcome to True Talk Radio, your home for facts, fairness, and fearless conversations about Salone economy.
We're not just any radio. We're an economic governance radio station where they break down big decisions, policies, and budget in a way where go make sense to you.
For our flagship Sunday show, We Economy, we bring you the real bread and butter issues where they around prices, jobs, taxes, and how policies they affect unu pockets. We also get more programs where they come every week. So join me now on 98.5 FM and online at True Talk FM. This now your platform, your economy and your voice on True Talk Radio. Get the facts, get True Talk. Welcome to True Talk Radio, your home for facts, fairness, and fearless conversations about Salone economy.
We're not just any radio. We're an economic governance radio station where they break down big decisions, policies, and budget in a way where go make sense to you.
For our flagship Sunday show, We Economy, we bring you the real bread and butter issues where they around prices, jobs, taxes, and how policies they affect unu pockets. We also get more programs where they come every week. So join me now on 98.5 FM and online at True Talk FM. This now your platform, your economy and your voice on True Talk Radio. Get the facts, get True Talk. Welcome to True Talk Radio, your home for facts, fairness, and fearless conversations about Salone economy.
We're not just any radio. We're an economic governance radio station where they break down big decisions, policies, and budget in a way where go make sense to you.
For our flagship Sunday show, We Economy, we bring you the real bread and butter issues where they around prices, jobs, taxes, and how policies they affect unu pockets. We also get more programs where they come every week. So join me now on 98.5 FM and online at True Talk FM. This now your platform, your economy and your voice on True Talk Radio. Get the facts, get True Talk. Welcome to True Talk Radio, your home for facts, fairness and fearless conversations but saloon economy.
We not just any radio. We na economic governance radio station where they break down big decisions, policies, and budget in a way where go make sense to you.
For our flagship Sunday show We Economy, we bring you the real bread and butter issues where they around prices, jobs, taxes, and how policies they affect unu pockets. We also get more programs where they come every week. So join me now on 98.5 FM and online at True Talk FM. This is the platform, your economy and your voice on True Talk Radio. Get the facts, get True Talk.
Good evening again, and thank you very much, Mayor Akisoya. So it's always interesting talking to you. So we can switch off a little bit. We can go now to topic very important. We're redistricting Freetown. Redistricting really mean for divide Freetown. But I know say in the last segment
I want to say something.
Yes.
So I just want to make a clarification because say when you're a public figure, with you talk, you got to be very careful. So I make reference and I stick to the reference. Say it's very important for let people then within in the law enforcement get proper transparency when it can to where things come from. But I also want to say you got to be careful with hearsay. So this now reported speech, and I need to clarify that reported in respect of the vehicles. I believe we all see on social media, but nevertheless I don't get them. I don't get them as an authoritative. So I want to make that clarification there. But I think the point I'm going to make, that point I could still hold to, when it comes to law enforcement in this drugs fight, you get to make sure say there's no appearance of compromise. You need to make sure say you minimize anything we can be linked, because one of the things we very, very clear is that the resources not there. So when you not get resources to the extent where you need, what you go need not trust. And if you get question marks, if people then concerned, if anything they around, it can lead to a trust deficit. So that's the day I'm gonna go, and I just want to clarify that. And as I say, I'm my brother, and we just a joke. I just a joke on that with the seriousness of the point that when it comes to law enforcement, we need for really, really, really portray witty, like no gray areas, not allow anything for come up. We go give people them cause for concern, because this now fight where we all get for be part of. And like you ask me, say how we ready for collaborate. We're ready for collaborate. We're willing for collaborate. And we don't do we not talk much about the corpses, but we've been done to do that role day. Although we don't stop them for the time being until we hear it back from government on who that's get the authority.
Okay. So, family, we turn now to redistricting. Well, however you may call them. Some people they call them redistricting. Some people they call them like where they create more localities in a particular district. However you may call them, we'll get an issue at hand. There is this proposal to say therefore divide Freetown. And I just be joined just now by Fredlin Mokomokale, professor. Say professor in name Kihebi for call. And we now in the director of policy and programs at IGR, actually now in the shepherd the survey. So I think I want to let you take me through the numbers. We'll talk about we'll interview the process. We'll take for interview people in Freetown and with the outcome.
Thank you, Andrew. Family, good evening. So, as Andrew made mention, we've been doing a survey with Freetonians, and we actually, most of the time, when I can say we as IGR, we do surveys throughout the whole country. But this time round, we actually do inside Freetown, because we want to know how Freetonians then they feel, but some really pressing, burning issues where they constantly deal with. One issue with all the yeri bots now this redistricting issue. For see if how there's been discussions about the need to do some divisions of Freetown. So we want to know what Freetonians then feel about this idea. So we've been do a randomized survey, and random okay, for random, you know, say where they do a random survey, same like if you cook soup and you want to know if you soup sweet, you don't need for doing the whole pot of soup. You just take your spoon, you dip it inside the soup, and you get a sense of how the soup turns. So in the same way, the way how we survey, we take a randomized set of locales, randomized houses, then even where you go na the house, if you need for talk to a man or if you need for talk to a woman, you ask for the names of all the men that within at the house, or women if not females you want to talk to, and then at the machine they tell you who that you actually need for talk to. So when you don't randomize your sample in such a way, it means say you're able for generalize. So waiting one person is saying that's something we can generalize for the whole of Freetown. So in terms of numbers, we find out say we campaign this redistricting issue, very few people know about the plan for divide Freetown into localities. You actually just get 32% of citizens we talk say yes, we don't hear you say plans that they're on the ground for divide Freetown. Of that 32%, 62% talk say then disagree or strongly disagree with government in plan for divide Freetown into multiple municipal management units. So in a nutshell, we data they show say one, very few people that know, but them plans they are, so it suggests that more information needs to be done. And then secondly, of those we know, they're not agree. And that's something we don't all want for do. So now on that basis, we can get some.
In fact, we inside that same survey we asked, say if how now want, because when they say democracy, now government of the people, for the people, and by the people. So the reason why we can do this survey, not to all man able go na parliament, not to all man they sit on at the boardroom na state house or na cabinet. So the citizens them who feel say them voices matter, who can go around in a very scientific way, like how friendly they talk, we get them views them. So ask them say how now want let this thing here be now going forward. We still have 57% of people who wouldn't talk say let the city left like a day. Then you get about 33% where they talk say if then the shape self law still get one Freetown City Council, but let you get localities then supervised by one Freetown City Council. They get 13% where they talk say let then divide. So now the various shades and the fine for the family and no say it look like say this survey we need for do and back maybe after a month or so, but we need for do and back. And the reason why we say let's get this conversation, and we really hope if government be there, the central government be there, we don't plan for do this. But Mayor Akisoya, you don't really do some write up on this, and we really want for let's start with you. Let you just tell Fambu them which not the critique way, because the one day we don't study planning, they talk say redistricting get pluses again minuses. We don't know which are these which are the merits and the demerits of this. And wait time Lamina be the launch, it talks say we the launch because we do this because I just want to see on Facebook where they prepare for this. We do this because we want to let planning be effective. We do this for so I really want to know, because you actually did a critique of this, and I know say given the low level of knowledge on this, a lot of families don't even know what was your position, and I think say they're on our website. So I want to let you just take an opportunity for talk about this to family.
Okay, so just like how you say, and the plan way Tambalamina, the Ministry of Local Government present now be a plan for divide the city into 3 local areas, local councils, starting from Orogu, which is 399, to Upgon, 1 local council, 1 mayor, 1 like a autonomous local council. From Upgon to Congo Cross, 1 local council, autonomous local council. Upgon to to Congo Cross to Levuma, another. I think say you mistake small where you say the reason for doing that for better planning. I think you say for improved service delivery.
Improved service delivery.
Because planning, city planning, na something we na a function we currently sit with the central government, not with the local council. But interestingly, for improved service delivery, you get for ask yourself first, waiting at the services we council to deliver. the question where I go ask even before that is on whose basis, because you say there are pros and cons. Redistricting not to a homogeneous exercise. So you're not going to be able to say the pros and cons in a general context. And sometimes this is becoming a bit too complicated in Creole. Let's try for break and down. Waiting to be proposed. Na something where anything where you do, you can do na I can do something that you owes. But if I do that same thing na friendly owes, the result totally different. Because friendly owes and you also do the same. So this is what we talk about. Not to something we just cut and paste.
One size fits all.
Not to one size fits all. Now something we get for be based on context. So the first thing I need for tell Una is that the conversation don't already move on from waiting Tambalimina can present. Because on the 15th of October, Wednesday before last, the presidential advisors, 5 of them, led by Alpha Wuri, come and present to we or can engage we in a city council, and then don't move the conversation on. So waiting Tambalamina, or what was presented, I don't keep using one person's name, what waiting the local government ministry presents on the 18th of September now don't evolve. So the presentation now we Alpha Wuri then bring now forget the system within at the UK, in London in particular. Forget 3 boroughs with a Lord Mayor over, so 1 mayor. Now, my response get for be the same, but I just been one follow to understand, say this conversation has moved on. Waiting on my response, it come on multiple levels. The first point is this, I did tell you without any hesitation, say it go detrimentally impact service delivery in Freetown. Absolutely. Why I go say that? I don't explain to people them. Me mayor term, it is done 2028. I'm not going to be mayor again. Waiting at effects for not to because na Akiso I get for Sidonde. Because them don't say this is post 2028. Because obviously an election has been held. We have a system. But waiting at me concern now how it get for really destroy all the gains we don't be fought for in improving service delivery in the city and improving the functioning of the city going forward. So what I mean, when you start off, you say service delivery. Like I said before, waiting at the services. The critical, most important service where any city gets, where anybody able for utilize na land use planning function, rather the most important function where they determine how you do service delivery na land use planning and building permits. Why? Land use planning now they allow you for plan the city. If you go Accra today, if you go Kigali, if you go Nairobi, waiting una the see where they make una also fine for look na the result of planning. Then don't sit them. Then don't map out. Then don't say, yeah, we did make roads in a yeah, we did get residential area. Yeah, we did get commercial area. Yeah, go be the industrial zone. Yeah, go be park. And even if we did plan for 25 years from now, we go say we population today na X. In 25 years, you get for be X plus Y. Therefore, we therefore need more of this and more of that. We reserve this ground so that in the future, we go get Usai, we able get a school. We go get Usai, we able get a hospital. And when we did plan, we did make sure, say, if people then get for can tap Usai, before then they can tap day, we don't put the road. So that person, they can build Usai the road for day. Then you utilize the building permit because you don't do the plan. Now, how for make sure, say, the plan work, you utilize building permit. Where person say na me don't buy I want can build us. You look them waiting they want do. You look you plan no you know the work na you not get for put factory na because na residential area. Sorry and when you buy the land you know say this side what they buy na residential area. A person want bill and then come and then the inside the one bill now inside water side we get for cause flooding. The building permits now they stop them. No, we not allow you for building here because you get for waiting you the bill get for cause flooding. Now salon that two function what I just described so within almost every country where I can think of it in the local government. In that salon, in not in the local government. It in the central government. And because the central government not to then they deliver the service, then not put into consideration. First of all, they're not to do the planning. There's no planning. Then two, the building permits they're not to be issued in accordance to even environmental crisis. Because we see people in the building side water side. If you go on a locust right now, beside the bridge day, look the water, beside the flow, the other end of the bridge, beside the water for continue for flow. Now for story us they now. So when rain come, the school with the next door, the flood. So that lack of land use planning and building permit, it gets a very significant impact on service delivery. A video I shared recently, and I will share them again. When you see through going to two neighborhoods, Greybush and New England, but you can go to any number of neighborhoods in this city where you go find out say 45 to 50% of properties in this capital city, because building permit not to be used as a development tool, because planning not to happen in advance of occupation, you go find out say 45 to 50% of properties not accessible by
as far
road.
as you concerned, the problem at devolution.
The problem at devolution but not forget we did now, and not only you jump over it and say so fast. If I don't tell you say 45 to 50% of properties not get access to road, not get road access, waiting that to tell you half a pool and dirty. So sanitation issue automatically come. When it comes to school access, now make you to see this proliferation of community schools, because kids cannot get to other schools. Like this make you to get this issue say when fire happen, the disaster to be so extensive because fire truck not get access. So the services we already talk about, you need to understand say there is a framework where exists now where inimical to the effective delivery of services. So I talk about sanitation. Person go say, well, what about the Ben Grondem? I want for let we understand say even with they talk so this lack of land use planning don't result in we having 80 or so informal settlements in the city.
Mayor, this not big conversation. You
Not big conversation.
You know why salon? We don't take 20 years. We don't dip at this, but decentralization.
We not do decentralization. Let me explain something. Let me explain something. I go challenge anybody. We tell me say we don't do decentralization. You know why? It become even more clear to me 7 years on. 7 years on, it become more clear to me now. Why?
That we are pretending to do it, but we are not doing it.
Where we are operating in a way where we do lip service. Why I say that? After many years of advocacy, the local government, the land use planning and building permits don't become part of the review of the Town and Country Act, Planning Act. And we don't actually get a bill where the legislate for devolution of land use planning and building permit to the local councils. It don't go through parliament, and about 1.5 weeks ago, the president signed. But guess what? Now, using the same World Bank project, detailed regulations they be developed for say now this council go do, now this ministry go do. I want to tell you say for all the functions where we the talk say have been devolved to council, there are no regulations, there is no legislation. I want to tell you say when you look at the Local Government Act, go to Schedule 3. That is all there is. When they say we don't devolve education, all we have is a line we say primary and secondary and mid-secondary schools, district libraries, that's it. There is no definition of what the council does, what the ministry does, what the mandates are, how the resources flow. None. Nowhere. So decentralization has just been words. And because there's no legislation, because you not get no regulations, it means say today, one minister go like where Alpha Timbo Binde, even say because he was Minister of Education when we first came in 2018, Alpha Timbo say the local councils for play a more active role. I think it was even advocating, Miss Memory served me right, for let the school subsidies come through the local councils. The next minister say, no, I don't believe in this. You know, school subsidies go directly from the ministry to the schools. When it comes to monitoring of schools, this under this current system then creates a whole monitoring system within the ministry. The DDE, where devolved to councils, sits in the ministry. You know, when it comes to Ministry of Social Welfare, the social welfare ministry, the send person to we, like the last one we come, he was here for 4 months before I even meet her. So when we talk about decentralization, what we have is staff coming to council, funds, very minimal funds, I must say, funds coming to council to be utilized by the staff of the ministry.
Okay.
So, Mayor,
with no clarity about what is actually devolved and how that devolution fever. So
we're going to go to the public very soon.
Okay,
no, I was just want for follow up for make sure say they get with me or the try for say. So basically, where camp and land use, for example, and how you plan, like how you get for build. Your point is it's in the hands of central government.
Exactly.
Ideally, in other parts of the world, you plan for let's say a hotel for there, and a commercial area for there, and so right. But you talk say for we then plan they're not day or then day and they're not implement them.
They're not day because the entity we currently getting mandates for do them plans and they not they in the cutting face of so they're not here for deliver sanitation services, so they're not thinking about that. They're not here for deliver water. We then go to the community, nobody here for say Mary wants road now, we not get road, because it's not their service. But so there's that overarching problem. But I want to give a few other services where in many countries are devolved to councils, because if you say you want for improved services, you need to say what are the services. So we don't talk about a key definer of how services get delivered. Then let's talk about some of the services, some key services. Today I go Secular Road for bearing, for go tell Osh for bearing. I always talk about Secular Road because I remember Secular Road very well. Growing up as a kid, because I'm in Taft Bay College. Secular Road, like most roads in this city, is so dilapidated. Road maintenance is not done by the council. And road maintenance, now one of the key services where Fritonians they require. Go na Old Road. Old Road is a dirt road, with potholes, where they destroy vehicles, where they lead to out and call, just red dirty all side. You get broken pavements all over the city. Those are not functions of city council. They're not functions of local councils. Water. Guma Valley is responsible for the provision of water in Freetown. It's not a council function. In other countries, recently I've been in in UN, I was approached by a firm where they do water on the assumption, say, because I'm a mayor, are they in charge of water in my city? Because that is the case in most cities. But it's not the case here. You talk about the education, I don't explain to you. You talk about health, I don't explain. That there's no clarity about what, and there's no budget. So if you're going to improve services, you don't improve services by splitting up and having more coordination required by the councils and the service providers. Lastly, before I take the break, I want to also say it really critical for let we understand, say, when it comes to service delivery, it's about money. And currently, we have a situation in which we national government not able to meet their own targets at NRA. So clearly there's a fall, there's a trickle down effect to the local councils. We are punching above our weight, but that notwithstanding, that money we for go to service delivery, we no want for let be diverted. You bring 3 boroughs, you bring 3 local councils, you bring 3 offices. You bring operating cost of staff. You bring legal challenge. If we don't know waiting decentralized to, wait till we decentralized to the boroughs beneath we.
Waiting Mayor, is where they talk about it. Very, very important. And Fambude will get some break. But I just want, in this industry all day, waiting for we citizenship really matter. And the one day when they study decentralization, like he talks, say, where who say they pay tax, like that council or that MP, if the resources they go to RAM, it will give you an opportunity for like ask and question, say, me road not make, this not fix. So basically, Mayor Akisoya the kind of say, we are trying to, we are prescribing the wrong solution to the challenge you'll get.
Absolutely.
And we get for go to that one day. And it really, this really key. 20 years in decentralization, it's
no regulations, no legislation, no decentralization.
So, Fambulem, I want to get
Smoke
a short
mirrors.
break. And after the break, the call number now, 072-641-729, 072-641-729, and we get for can't open the line. And I go really want the people in Abo, Kenny, Mama Kenny. When I can call over today, we really want to let Freetown more call because the mayor, this is not the mayor of Freetown there today. Okay, over to you.
Welcome to True Talk Radio, your home for facts, fairness, and fearless conversations about Salone Economy.
We're not just any radio. We're an economy governance radio station where they break down big decisions, policies, and budget in a way where go make sense to you.
For our flagship Sunday show, We Economy, we bring you the real bread and butter issues where they around prices, jobs, taxes, and how policies they affect unu pockets. We also get more programs where they come every week. So join me now on 98.5 FM and online at True Talk FM. This now your platform, your economy and your voice on True Talk Radio. Get the facts, get True Talk. Welcome to True Talk Radio, your home for facts, fairness, and fearless conversations about Salone Economy.
We're not just any radio. We're an economy governance radio station where they break down big decisions, policies, and budget in a way where go make sense to you.
For our flagship Sunday show, We Economy, we bring you the real bread and butter issues where they around prices, jobs, taxes, and how policies they affect unu pockets. We also get more programs where they come every week. So join me now on 98.5 FM and online at True Talk FM. This now your platform, your economy and your voice on True Talk Radio. Get the facts, get True Talk.
Family, welcome back. And the conversation going to continue. We don't talk about, now we talk about redistricting, but we open the line now to 072-641-729, 072-641-729. But as we get the line open, we go back to Mayor. Mayor, this is really important, and this not just about Freetown. We talk say, if me they corner or if me they boy, you will listen to me, they McKinney. If resources not go to you, if you get pothole like streets, whether if ask. Because resource not there for fix that pothole. So that relationship between the citizen and the authorities is difficult. You talk say under the current law. But I want to listen to hello. Hello, yeah. Hello, yes. Carry on. Welcome to True Talk Radio.
Yes, sir. Yeah, good evening again. Me now Hassan Kumar, I called from Makeni, Bombali. Of course, the conversation at the studios, most especially the Kush in discussion one at the radio day, very, very much important and necessary. But the problem now is every day people when they talk about for like for restrict the marketing of kush, but I dey ask who said this thing all dey comot? How then think they ask to people then the old people them when are victims?
Yes.
How then can left the prison way then they always they talk about say wey dem get you with kush, they build this, they build this. Then at the end of the day, they mix up them back in the street. So the big question here is why people in the I mean the public figures them wey they mention the under na the studio. Why they left for deceive we? See then they in support so that kush will left salon or will left the country.
Okay.
Because then people in the way then people in the way then they detain so then they tell which they detain. They at the end of the day they mix up them back. Now then they in fact some of them said go threaten you and tell you say if you say I will die at that place, they now look me. That means you don't create enmity between the person where they ask them for expose the victim, they at the end of the day. You left them now in a trap. So it's like I don't want for accept people and they open up for fight this kush business here.
Okay.
And in the last interview the last time, me when they talk to you, so many activists at the practice activism, and I meet up one woman and they talk about the pikin wey die. One nearly one for die as a result of kush. The body don't done if you see the pikin the body. Look.
Okay.
You know people for explain to me, he said that people and they even want for take the voice system too. They know where they go on. Anything they know where they go on.
Okay.
Then they talk and then they fight.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Family, anybody will call na 30 seconds you call for because one hello, True Talk Radio.
Yeah, good evening, how do you do?
Not bad.
Good evening, everybody.
Make you point. You get 30 seconds, so make you point, please.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with the mayor. Very thanks. I thank you about work one when we work with the two in the city. And in relation to this kush and the tramadol and the ecstasy. And the government not ready for it. Gonna blame game than the pan force. And then the government not ready for fet kush and tramadol because is that the president putting up the USCC getting money? The people that will get money pass the state. Eh? People that will get money pass the state. Meaning the president be aware, well aware about this. Because in immigration, they involve about Bolijos, and even the man where they are Tifa Bio, then they are airport. Bolijos don't pass in the airport, the Tifa Bio, no. Then I syndicate them, they play. Let them left free. And they kill them big, and I syndicate them, they play.
Thank you. Hello.
Good evening, you're on True Talk.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah. This is Alfred. I call from Bo. I get to flow all out radio number. The brother at the time when I plenty things because at any time they listening to this program Nabo. Only time number when I get for increase that now one. Then let's come to the real things so the owner discuss about tonight when I push issue with brother. Anyway, so my brother just let the two mayor talk. When big one do bad, show to the world say this big one don't do bad. So if the small one see to God, inside go look at us and say, okay, let's not go down. But the big one start, the small one for control it not go easy. But that's notwithstanding to we part of Bo like we say we there so brother now Bo East division. We will say kudos to the government, we're able to send, we're able LEC. Right now, we are the eastern part of Boya, we thank God, because the LEC don't really try. And I will pray that God will continue for you.
Okay, thank you.
Then when it comes to this redistricting of Freetown, Freetown not too big now, it's too large. One man not able or one person not able mount the entire management of Freetown. Freetown needs to get 2 million. As you all know, as you can see, Freetown is divided into two, and the two sections of half of it where we talk about the east and the west is too large. Considering it with 20 million, the mayor will talk about this how for some means how for local council, which local council for do. Brother, if Freetown divided into so soon, like how the province look like go where we get the district chairman and that of the mayor. It's not so it at the end of the day, the mayor or any local council go able mouth, even when we talk about when we talk about this push drugs business.
Okay.
They will able to step in and reach to local government. They will look at children because I let the DOT after the honorable now we look at councillor and other for council.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
This
you.
is Alfred from
Thank you.
So we don't really calls them and this last caller they just say.
I just want to respond.
Yes.
Yeah. So
but let's wait and get a few calls there. Okay. Hello, Fambulem.
Yeah.
Yes. Good day.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, Abdul the call from Juba. Yeah, with regard this push issue. Oh, Mama Mayor, Futuna Nendina Yohan. Help. Do you work for ensure say this thing come on and freedom? Employee councillors, yeah. For me, we make sure say we kick this thing out of this city. That's my one. Number two. As far as I'm concerned, and let una then give the whole of Freetown with all the resources to this mayor, now corruption no more go increase now council, you know go do nothing. Just like I say, a kind don't provoke Jaya. Now so they do election, they go light in a blood and go.
Okay.
Thank you, Kola. You don't have a question.
Okay. So Fambulem, the topic that we talked about today, please restrict yourself to the topic, please. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is not just inside the call from Koma.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at the things the way the mayor highlights, the city councils, because Economi always made this so at the few weeks at the listening radio program where people in the talk about the mayor involvement into the certain road and them disaster where they can happen, like them constructions the way they can make and them road there, like right now so the Economi or back every time small rain castle will get flooding. People they don't build like the water road. But everybody where go under they say na the mayor, this they say na this. We don't even know whether they give them places they do to them. You know, like how what the mayor talks, so then kind of thing they will not give them to the appropriate people there. When they go talk say road no the possible for building road for build there. If it's proper planning not there, believe me, well how the city will function well. Lastly, this area about Kush. If Kush business they not put will not do serious into Kush business for fight against Kush, believe me, the next generation when they come, they wipe out.
Okay, thank you.
We don't see people that want to be future people today. Small mobile they don't finish.
Thank you. We'll take a couple more calls, then we let the mayor respond.
No, just and please call us where you they call. Give me a question. Yeah, we're glad you forget to that points, but also please carry to a question then. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm John Freetown.
Okay, John.
Johnny Freetown.
Okay, Johnny. Johnny, you're a frequent caller.
Yeah, good evening, Mayor. How is the day? I'm very much keen about this push issue.
Johnny, pull the radio near the set. Pull the radio near you.
Or to radio.
Yeah, just.
Are you okay?
Yes. Just pull the radio near the phone. You okay now?
Yeah, after me they say, Mayor, this thing is multi-sectoral and multifaceted. Yes, you are an entity on your own as a local government head and a mayor of Freetown. The local council is an entity of itself, but at least on a get a viceroy administrative head where they in the central government, in the person of the local affairs minister. So
So I don't know the synergy or how they coordinate and consult, confer on national issues then.
Thank you.
At least it not only for them within the remit of your administration, but like you need some consult, not really means subservient to the minister, but like in the interest of national development and collectivism in decision making. How they really
we don't lost Johnny, so we can make the last call now. Then we will make Lady Mayor respond to the questions. Unfortunately, we know they get beaucoup questions now. More contributions people than they make. Yes. Hello. 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 Yeah.
Hello. Good evening. Yeah. Sorry, Alfred again from Bo.
Oh, Alfred.
Yes. Dude, thank God the possibility na in darkness na in know which side the road day. Straight to the mayor when Madam Atisoya. This na a question. Now we will talk about the district of Freetown. In way it does manage. I want to answer this question. And how they look at it, is this comfortable for one person to manage or mount the appearance of the entire city of Freetown, or there is any room of way forward to make the able district Freetown into two groups or two departments? That is my question, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Then at the very last call now, then we can, the very last call. So Mayor, over to you. You can respond to some of the questions.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, all the callers. The policy will start off by saying arresting the victims. I think that's important, The victims, themselves not victims, not for saying that, they're above the law, but me feel to say the emphasis get for be on the one that we sell, the suppliers, because coming back to this point about breaking the supply chain, this is what anything for shy away from. If we want to stop this cush pandemic in this country, we get for take hard decisions. Government get for act. The person will say Freetown too large in this country.
Oh my God.
The person will say Freetown too large. Okay, so I want to let we know say just like how Andrew used a word earlier on. It talk about governance. You can also talk about medicine. I want to know, say, city leadership or city management, not a subject. Not to something where you just sit down, oh, I feel for do this, I feel for do that. There's a whole book learning day behind this tier where people then they study them. When this plan come out, I send and go to some side where they call the African Center for Cities within at the University of Cape Town. I send the plans of the local government to them and then come back with a commentary based on empirical evidence, based on data, based on what not happen in other countries. They're able to come back and explain for make myself go able help people that understand, say, Freetown not to the first country where they look at how for being more effective in governance. And definitely all the literature, the point, use Cape Town as an example. Then we get Boku, small city councils. Then bring all together, forget one city council. Why? For economies of scale. That means to say, like you where you go buy market. If you go buy market to the wholesale compared to the retail, which one you pay less? That's where you go buy a wholesale. So where you buy a Boku. So now I mean they call economies of scale. So you know the cut the city. You want for take, for example, city like Nairobi. Nairobi na 4 million people. Lagos na 16 million. London na 9 million. And if you say, well, London getting sub-mayors them, we na only 1.5 million. We get differences. Now make I say, waiting you do, waiting I go do na Andrew Ose, and waiting I go do na Fred and Ose. If I do the same thing, I get different results. Because Fred and Ose and Andrew Ose not the same. So we need for take emotion out of this. I did see some people like can you write them in Facebook page. It can tell like na plaba that I want make with the shabia. I can say when I understand what they say. There's a question of shabia. if we want for improved service delivery, let we see waiting for do for improved service delivery. Let we solve the correct problem. In 2018, World Bank commissioned a study we then call the Freetown Urban Sector Review. Big study where they get whole teams them come out different place. They work for over 1.5 years. They interview MDAs, they interview council, then do consultation with development partners, then do empirical evidence, then take academic research, and out of that then publish a study where they hand over. I've been there now be Radisson Blue them do that program day. They hand that study day over to the government, specifically, if I remember rightly, to the Ministry of Development and Economic Planning. That study day, it highlights all the issues where we say that problem in Freetown. Then the same study, analytic, database, data-driven, evidence-based, it proffers solutions. Waiting at some of the solutions, of course, you're not going to be surprised. Then talk about the land use planning, because that's not one of the major issues. Then talk about the building permitting. Then talk about the finance of council, for let council be capacitated for get more money. Then talk about capacity within council. But at no point they not talk about dividing the city. This now World Bank, where they work with cities all over the world. We get a body of knowledge. We get a practice department when a city business no more than the pan. So we not for take this tier emotionally. We not for take them politically. We not for take them with vexation. We for say, if we want for see a better Freetown, waiting at the specific things and based on data. One of the things that were interesting about this whole process is that no sign or day with data to be shown. If you look at Freetown are one of the smallest capital cities in terms of population in Africa. You know, so the notion, or not even capital cities, even if you look at other cities, because Cape Town is to a capital city. You know, so let we address the correct problem. And to the one we say, is it too big for one mayor? No. I mean, let us explain some challenges where we will forget. You sit down, as I say, some people out of emotion. If you run a business, you get a branch na Congo Cross, you get branch at Wilkinson Road, you get branch at Second Stephen Street, you get branch at Bibua Road. All of a sudden now, as a business, you get to deal with 3 different councils for your property rate, for your business license, for go register a CBO. That is time, that is money. The systems that way don't be built. For example, Dotty must go. The new system where they come in, right now as I talk to you, all of that's going to become obsolete. Would I get contracts and responsibilities when it comes to something like court case? We're in court right now with somebody where they try for thief Allentown market. So would I go get that court case now? What about the pensions? The pensions, the people that we work for council, we will get pension. Who they go pay the pension? Now the council within Congo Cross, the one within Freetown. I mean, there's so many unanswered questions. When you look at London, the mayor of London overall get responsibility for transport. Transport for London, the tubes, the buses are under the mayor of London. Environmental issues, they under the mayor of London. But building permit, they at the level of the borough councils. We been get 48 councillors, then don't be reduced to 40, and because of PR, then scatter. They're not they who side them for they, you know, in terms of representation. So we get wards that we not get no councillor, we get wards that we get 3 councillor. So if you want to say improved political representation, let we go back to reward councils. We councillors, when we came in 2018, one of the things that we want to do, now for enable them forget a small office, rather than trying to create an entire structure, a whole local council with all that mean.
We get contracts with the community radio stations.
Okay.
I believe I think we can take the next 5 minutes. Yeah.
And let's just also come back to the possibility say for Durham, like how they get them in Bo with a mayor and a chairman. We have that. You get Freetown, we get the mayor, and you get Ward C, we get the chairman. So then I think kicking out Kush, somebody say let we councillors take responsibility. I mean, with all due respect, this is not a council challenge, this is not a national challenge, and it affect Bo, it affect Kenema, it affect McKinney, and nowhere in the country anybody expects say councillors we're not resourced, where they be paid a sitting fee, not even a salary, you go turn to we and say that we responsibility. I think see that call on it for be realistic and accept say this is a national issue. The leadership must come from the national government. Now making that the national government create waiting and call the National Drugs Enforcement Agency, not to counsel the agency, Sidom. So to try and push the responsibility to the council, they do a disservice to we all as a nation. Let we take some of this emotion out and let we be realistic. Accusations of corruption are unfortunate because thankfully, if Abin gets corruption case, Abin for don't be held responsible for corruption. But you know, I know say some people and just one send them kind talk then they no problem. It's all part of being in the political space.
You keep talking about lowering emotions, and I think it's really that one is very important. The thing we don't happen in a salon, you like us start for introduce, we not really listen to each other anymore. So like when somebody they talk about whether for a district or not for a district, we they talk about which color you represent, not to how you get services. So I want to let you close this conversation on that note for say what you for do for simmer the intention, yeah? So that if we talk now about how for produce food, how for grow more rice, how for make their education effective. Because somebody at one time they talk say we actually need like all the parties then come together for develop one longer plan like how you get Agenda 2063. But what if you say for do for let we I know say it's difficult and so you know get the whole day for that and the but think about it. You feel say we go able for lower the tension and really think about ways how they improve yourself. Because at the end of the day, in waiting they happen, so nobody know the win.
Well, I mean, I think say when you go back to how the conversation start, you start the conversation by asking me which in the salon we want. One of the things that I point out that in fact say the largest employer, not the government, the dominance of the public sector in terms of people their lives and livelihoods on an unhealthy situation. And a situation where they lead to the sort of emotional reactions to everything because now effectively a winner takes all. For like we able for move from this, we actually need for see more maturity in governance. There's very little, and what I mean by maturity, this is a democratic governance structure, this country. We say we get multi-parties, although we ended up with only two in the parliament this time, but we say we get multi-parties, and we say we get democratic elections every 5 years. If we don't say that, that means to say the outcome of democratic elections can be, or it need for be accepted. Say the outcome can be this party or the outcome can be that party. We get a situation now where you hear people say we there for 30 years. That level of that nature of discourse very unhelpful, because I mean we hear Jimmy Batello, again another friend of mine, but I go still say what he say. We heard him say we get the police, we get ONS, we get the army. Those conversations, it takes maturity. If you not talk with maturity, you not engage with maturity, you create and people can say, oh, now politics talk. But you get for realize, say, then talk then they actually undermine
have deeper implications.
Then they actually undermine the notion of we operating in a democratic space, and that they create tensions, because if you suddenly are being seen, I mean we know that the 2023 election results were rigged. I mean every international report we come out, international observer confirmed that if they were rigged. Some of those figures were announced before the elections. We won't go there, but waiting we then see is when you don't get that experience of election results being announced that had no relationship to what actually was what the votes were. You see two districts with the exact same figures in the tally, come on. At least when you're cheating, at least be a little bit more careful. But when you see that, then you get comments like, now we get the police, now we get this APC, not the C light. That is tension building. That's not tension building. So we need maturity. We need acceptance. We need the ruling government for say, let us go into this with the understanding that it is not a given, it is not a must, that we must remain. And then language for reflect that. Yes, we know it's politics and everybody want for hype them base and, rally the crowds and, get everybody all, gingered up and ready. But there must be a respect for the rule of law. There must be a respect for electoral management bodies. So the tension where you want for us to reduce can only really happen when those we currently day in office, they demonstrate that level of maturity in accepting, say, this is a democracy. You just say a few words here and there. Say a few words here and there. The words that were with the yeri, not the words that way they turn, cooling balm on the situation. Now words that way very inflammatory currently. Hopefully that's going to change because I'm big on hope. Okay. I'm big on hope. But we also quite concerned, I know you want to cut me off, but I'm going to say this. We're also really concerned about us ensuring that this country, when we all get them, that we go into this election with the appreciation and realization that, the APC is planning to win. And as far as I'm concerned, we're going to win. That needs to be accepted.
Thank you very much for leaving.
Are we done? So so I was just want to ask, because as you said, we're in a de facto two-party state. Now that's we get, right? So you don't give a sense of what you feel say the ruling party for do. I just want to know what you feel, and you don't give a sense of outside the APC.
Absolutely.
But what you feel say the APC can do for diffuse tensions if we're in just waiting at your sense of
it kind of come back to this same imbalance where a couple of callers they try for project about the kush. You cannot take a national issue and try for give responsibility to local government. You can't. In the same way, it just sounds like we you na mama na also, you the papa na also, you have the greater responsibility. The ruling government has the greater responsibility. There's no shifting from that. Because now then they set the tone. Now that they set the tone, when they get, I can't remember what it was. There was an event where they get now Bintumani.
This past Friday?
No. Some months ago, we Ambassador Janssen, the chairman of our party, attended. Now, being the lower level, I think it was the start of the lower level elections or something. But there was an event which was an SLPP party event. They invite the chairman of the APC, the acting chairman, and he attended. So you see where they get to. We don't be very restrained as a party. I mean, we all know, I'll say it again, the election results were rigged. We went to the negotiating table and not to the streets. We went through the tripartite process. But you need for the peace and the demeanor of the opposition party not be taken for granted. Because we are the opposition party. It is our job and responsibility to hold government accountable. And when that is seen as in some way being like, some kind of like terrible something, if mayor talks to, hey, look out, you don't begin talking again. No, that's my job. I am part of the opposition. When something's not going right, that part of my job, for the sake of the residents, the citizens of this country, and that is true of all of my colleagues in the party, our job is to hold government to account. Government's job is to respond constructively to that and to recognize with maturity that in order for let we improve, we need for let it improve, they need for no side and they go wrong. But I also need for no say this sit where and sit down, not to so take go.
Okay.
The citizens ultimately
Thank you.
get to choose.
Thank you very much. I think so with that we can close the curtain for today. We don't talk quite a lot. It's almost getting to 2 hours for a program we can normally run for 1 hour 30 minutes. But I think the mayor end up with rhetoric of leadership. I think that they matter how we don't see Boku country where the leader in rhetoric they change the country. We don't see Botswana we discover diamonds. 30 years after Salone discovered diamond, the leader just say this diamond I no more get. The way they deal with the diamond is different from the way Salone deal with the diamond. So rhetoric matter, and we want for the politicians across the divide, and but more the onus there on the central government for really make sure say the rhetoric is measured way than the way to. We talk about Kush, and Kush, all the callers across the board, there's a call for action, there's a call for stiffer action. We see that Liberia waiting to happen. You can talk all about Trump, Donald Trump, but we actually see, because drug, of course, not an epidemic in Sierra Leone, but the youth crisis is really becoming a global call. So we see we self now we on corner we need for take action. So if government they listen to there's an Afrobarometer resource, there's a lot of resources on citizens' voices around some of them here. Redistricting, the mayor talks say, London put a square peg in a round hole. Let we really match the response with the context. So on that note, I think say we can close the curtain for today. We tell una thank you we una glued to una radio and the one that we get. And by the way, this now some of the highest views this will get today. Yes, on the program. Thank you very much for honoring our call. So
thank you
very much. Thanks to the team for all of this. So we say tata till we meet next week.
Welcome to True Talk Radio, your home for facts, fairness, and fearless conversations about Salone economy.
We not just any radio. We na economic governance radio station where they break down big decisions, policies, and budget in a way where go make sense to you.
For our flagship Sunday show, We Economy, we bring you the real bread and butter issues where they around prices, jobs, taxes, and how policies they affect unu pockets. We also get more programs where they come every week. So join me now on 98.5 FM and online at True Talk FM. This na your platform, your economy and your voice on True Talk Radio. Get the facts, get True Talk. Welcome to True Talk Radio, your home for facts, fairness, and fearless conversations about Salone economy.
We not just any radio. We na economic governance radio station where they break down big decisions, policies, and budget in a way where go make sense to you.
For our flagship Sunday show, We Economy, we bring you the real bread and butter issues where they around prices, jobs, taxes, and how policies they affect unu pockets. We also get more programs where they come every week.